everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets, and I'm here with a tips and tricks video for the Cricut Explorer. So I've had the machine for about 6 months now. I think I got it around June or July, and there are definitely some things that I have learned by watching other people's videos and making my own mistakes. So I'm going to show you guys real quick a couple of things that I've learned, and hopefully that'll help you if you're a beginner, or maybe there's just something that I've picked up along the way that will help you. So I will show you. We're gonna switch to my computer screen and I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, so here's what your screen will kind of look like. It won't have this, obviously, this card here. I inserted an image. So to do that, for you guys that are just really brand new, you go to Insert Image here, and then you pick something to search from. So it will bring up a ton of icons. So what you do is you just go to that search bar right there and type in, like I typed in Christmas cards, or Christmas card, and then I hit search, and then I found the image that I wanted. And so something that has a lot of images may take a really long time. So of course and then I just hit whatever one I wanted. You hit the check mark and it'll appear down at the bottom here, right by the cancel button, and then you would hit insert images. And then your image would show up in the screen, and then you would just have to pick what size you want. If you're trying to resize it, you can use this button here, which you can drag to make smaller or larger, or you can come over to the side, and there's these buttons on the side here. And this one here says edit, and you would hit that, and this edit box would come up, and you can change the size of the card from there. So mine's 8.5 by 5.5, so that'll give me a 4.25 by 5.5 card, or an A2 sized card. So that's how you insert images and resize images. Now if you want to add text, you would come over to the side and hit add text. You would type in there, say hi, and it'll show up. And then this edit box right here, it normally defaults to Cricut Alphabet. But when you hit the drop down menu, and of course my little color wheel is going to spin, you can pick all different kinds of fonts. Now you'll notice that some of these say $4.99 next to it, which means I don't own it. It means that they're not in the subscription, or I don't have it in a cartridge that I own. So I would want to pick, unless I wanted to pay $4.99 for the entire font, I would want to pick one that doesn't have a price next to it. So let's just pick Dawn. This is part of the subscription, and so you can see it changes the style of the font. I can make it larger or smaller just by clicking on one of the corners, or I can go back and I could change the point font up here. So I can also make the distance between the letters smaller or much larger if you go here. And this is kind of how you can connect it. You can weld letters together. You can, if you have a bunch of different words, you can make them align to the left, center, or to the right, just like you can in Word. And then you can have each letter separate, or so now each letter is separate, so I can move it, and there's a couple different ways you can do that. But now if I accidentally did that, I can go and I highlight the entire thing, and then I right click and I can hit group, and the word will automatically go back together. So that goes for anything. You can group images together just by doing that. So one of the other things that I learned is, say you want to write hi on the back of this card. So you can group it all together so you can move it. But when you hit go to cut it out, it'll show up on two different screens because you haven't attached it. You would need to hit the attach. See how there's my card screen, and then this is my high screen. So it's fine if I just wanted this cut out and put on there, but if I wanted it to say write on here, what I would have to do is I would have the whole thing highlighted and hit attach. and then it will attach it. And then if I I come over, here's my layers. What I would do if I wanted it to write it instead of cut it. So here there's scissors. So what you would want to do is change it to the right button rather than the square. And you can change the color so you can make it stand out. Let's see if we can do something like this. And you can actually, you can actually get the letters to write in different colors by the different pens you put in there. So if you wanted this one, the H blue and the I pink, you would actually click on this and click the pink, and it would tell you to change your pens in between it writing the one writing each letter. So there's a lot of different things you can do just playing around. These are just some of the basics. So now what I want to do is I want to take these, I want to detach everything, and I want to take the letters off of here. And then to just get rid of it, you either hit the delete key, or if you want to save it for later, you can click on the I, which will make it go away, but it doesn't disappear permanently. So right now the shadow has disappeared, but I want to get rid of the high altogether. So, and then I want to get rid of it, so I would unclick the shadow, and then the high is completely gone. So right now I just have these cards. So this is the pen. This is the pen icon. So it's a score. I'm sorry, the score tool icon. So if you scroll over it, it tells you what it is. It's the score of the image. So it's going. This is the score line right here, and you can tell by if you go to the I and hide it, you can see the score line is hid. So if you don't want a score line printed on there, just hide it. And then this is the base. So you can change the color of the base to show what it would look like in different colors. I cut mine out in white, so we'll just do that. And I'm going to put a piece of green cardstock behind it. So I could unhide this layer and have it be green. So I could hide. So this is what my card would look like. However, I am not going to do that. I'm just going to, because it'll cut out an entire piece, and I don't want an entire piece. I just want the one panel. So this will give you a liner. So I'm going to hide that again. And then here, that's the score mark for the liner, if you were going to cut that out. So I'm not going to do that. So that's how you did this. The images that I have hidden, I had another card that I was thinking about cutting out this snowflake here, so I wasn't really sure, so I hid them because I did the work to size the card, so I don't want to get rid of it, but I just kind of wanted to hide it so that it didn't cut out with this card. So now another trick that I found out is this cut is very, very detailed and intricate. Look at the little circles. I mean, they're very, very tiny. So if you have an image that is very, very detailed, when you hit go, it'll show you the mats that you need, and it'll also tell you to load your mat. Now, I've already loaded my mat into the system so that we could do this. So if you go here, this is what you would do. So here's the mat. So you can move, if you have the paper loaded down at the bottom and you just wanted the card down at the bottom, you could drag it down, and it'll turn red when it's gone outside the boundaries. So you can put it wherever you've put the paper. If you have it 8.5 by 11, if you needed to rotate it like this and then you turn it around, you can do whatever you want. Move things however you'd like them to cut them out. Okay, so even though that's not straight, we're just going to go with that. So you would hit go. Now, on the dial over here on the Cricut, there's a customize setting. It's all the way to the left. So if you put that on the customize, you'll look here, it says select a material, and you can drop down, and there are a ton of different things that you can choose from. So you would want to do cardstock intricate cuts. Some people do, washi tape for, I think it's vinyl. Some people do that for. So there's a ton of different things that you can use. So if you're cutting vellum, there's a special dial for that. So there's custom settings on the dial, but then there's also a ton in here. If you go then and look at all of the different options. Iron on glitter. you can check that. Photo paper, vinyl glitter. So there's a lot, aluminum foil, wax paper. There's so many things that this can do, like iron-on washi sheets, iron-on neon, grocery bags. So we don't want that. We want the intricate cuts. So you go back up to the top, and it is cardstock intricate cuts. So I would do this, and then I would hit the cut mat, which is the middle icon. I think it's the C, I think that's what it is, and it would cut it out. And let me show you how detailed this cuts out. It's amazing. So this is the cut that I made. That's the card. Look at how intricate and all the tiny things. They cut out so perfectly. It's amazing. So those are just some of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the past couple months. And there are so many more, so many different things you can do with welding and attaching and writing. And so these are just kind of some of the basics and some of the things that people get kind of frustrated doing. Because I've heard a lot of people on the Cricut boardrooms on Facebook say that they're tired of things getting, their cuts not cutting all the way through. They're doing very detailed things and the machine's not working right. So if you change the settings, if you play around with it, a lot of times that'll solve a lot of your problems. So that's my tips and tricks for the day. So if you guys have any other questions on cutting stuff with the Explorer, feel free to leave comments or questions, and I will get back to you. Hopefully I will know an answer. So hopefully I can help you guys. And if you have any other comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. And if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!